We're back in my room, finally, with my normal mic. The lab mics were kind of bad quality. I might have to get new ones. I'm kind of excited to talk about this one. Since the semester ended, I have been kind of like mulling this topic over a lot. But I didn't know that I actually wanted to talk about it. But one of my friends, he was kind of like, he like brought it up. Was like, you should do an episode on this. And I was like, that's actually really smart. So here I am. I think a lot of college students go through this, especially after their first year, because I think your first year of college is so different from anything you've ever experienced. At least it was for me and a lot of my friends. That feeling of nostalgia when you kind of just like remember some things, or like, you know how sometimes like, I think sometimes like either in Snapchat or like even in like just photos, like you'll get like the flashbacks. Those are brutal. I don't like those. And you'll kind of just be staring at this different version of yourself going through this experience, and you miss it a lot. I was kind of thinking about it. I was like reading about it too, and I actually I found out that like a really really long time ago, nostalgia used to be looked at as like a mental disorder, like to the point where like soldiers in war, right, would be sent back home because they would feel intense nostalgia, and it would like affect them so much physically that it like the symptoms were so much like fever symptoms, and like really severe fever symptoms, and they were like, okay, you have to go, you have to go home. And they would say it's because they like every time they would think about home and they miss home so much, they would feel this feeling inside, so it was looked at as like a mental disorder because it was causing so many like physical symptoms. And I think that's so interesting because when I was reading this, I was like, that's so funny, because I feel like whenever I feel nostalgia, I also have that feeling. Not like fever like symptoms, but more of like just like this like sensation inside, like in my chest, where I'm like, shit, like I really really miss that. And I think over time its qualities broadened to something within the likeness of like depression, because for some people it would bring immense sadness. Now I think there's an important distinction between something that brings you sadness that's close to depression, and something where you just feel nostalgic. When I look at myself, I feel like I feel nostalgic and it makes me feel happy, or at least I've learned to feel happy when I feel nostalgia. I think for most of my high school life, at least, I never really had a lot of memories to feel nostalgic about, so that now that I do have memories, I'm like grateful that I have them, because I know what it's like to be on both sides of the coin. So for me, it was like, it's a weird feeling for me. I feel it a lot of times because I'll see things that remind me of someone and the experience that I've had with them. And depending on either like, just say that we're not talking to each other anymore. Like no matter how it ended, it still brings that like feeling of like so much happiness and joy, but then also like a little bit of sadness that I'm just like, I'm kind of sad that I don't have that in my life anymore. I'm eternally grateful that I even feel the sadness, because that means that you're worth missing, and you're an experience worth experiencing. And I think anyone should feel grateful to have an experience like that, or someone like that in their life, whether they're with you or not. I talk about this in my what love means to me episode, and I think about a lot of what I said in that episode like a lot. And I think nostalgia kind of has to do with that too, because with a lot of people that aren't in my life anymore for whatever reason, I don't think I could ever hate any of them. I don't think I could ever, maybe do I dislike them? Sure, it depends, but like, I don't think I could ever hate anyone that was in my life, because you gave me such a unique experience. You made me the person I am today. If I could go back and do it again, I 100% would. I don't think there's anyone in my life right now that's not in my life anymore that I feel like I wish, like I made a mistake by having a relationship with you. And I'm grateful for that too. I haven't had any really bad experiences with anybody. I was just a girl that was living my life. I think, as cliche as it is, and like you could say there's so many people, like your experiences aren't unique, like da da da, but like I don't care. I actually don't care. And that just makes me more grateful for the things that I've gone through and the different personalities I've morphed into. I'm a strong believer of, you definitely aren't the same person you were 2 months ago. And it's because I feel like I go through so many experiences all the time that I'm constantly learning and going through them. The sense of nostalgia that I feel when I look back, I'm just like, That was so like, I think for me it's more of a, I didn't know what was about to happen. I didn't know what I was about to go through, whether it was good or bad. You know, when I think about a person, it's like I didn't know what was gonna happen. I did it anyway, and look how I turned out. I turned out fine. Whether it went good or bad, but like it's okay. And that makes, I feel like it eventually, that feeling ends up becoming confidence in that I can keep going with my life, and no matter what happens, I'm gonna be okay. And I think that's also important. I've learned to turn my nostalgia, right, into confidence and hope for, and hope that like I will be able to handle my future. But that being said, doesn't mean that it's bad to have nostalgia. But again, going back to how sometimes it can be confusing to differ between sadness of thinking about the past and being stuck in the past and just feeling nostalgia, right? And thinking about things that happened in the past. There's a difference. I think once you cross the threshold of like not being able to let it go and really like clinging on to the past and being just like sad that you can't go back, that's different. That's dangerous because now you're letting go of the present, and all of the memories that you're clinging on to in the past, you can't make better memories now because you keep thinking about them. The only thing you can do in life is just keep living. Once you start thinking about the past, which is whether it was good or bad, you can't do anything about it. You can't change it. You can't go back and talk to yourself. You can honestly, I kind of just laugh at myself every time I turn around and I'm just like, she was stupid, or she didn't know what's coming to her, or I'm so glad that she made this decision. I find it so funny. No matter how the situation I'm feeling nostalgic about turned out, I just laugh because I'm just like, shit, like okay, maybe I screwed up, but I'm still here and I learned, and I don't think I would ever do that again. That's like all you can do. That's basically what life is. I think that in the healthy range of nostalgia, it should be seen as something that's good to feel. You know, you've lived a life with experiences and memories that are worth missing. And I think that's something I learned after leaving college is like I genuinely miss my friends so much. I don't really think I ever felt that in high school. I feel like I have been separated from my second family. I like am getting like withdrawals. It's like not okay. I like practically lived with these people. I did everything with them. I practically lived with them. Now I'm like back home, and I feel like that's what I feel most nostalgic about nowadays is like my life when I was in college, and I cannot wait to go back, and I'm so excited. I think for a really long time I was excited to like grow up. And I know a lot of people regret feeling like that when they were, you know, when they were younger because like growing up is hard, but I think it is definitely what you make of it. I think the biggest difference is not being stuck in the past. I think the reason a lot of people say like, "Oh, like why was I so eager to grow up? Why was I so eager to do this? Why was I so eager to do that?" Why shouldn't you be? Why shouldn't you be eager to grow up? I there are hardships with any stage in life that you're in. And I think actually growing up gives you more reign and more freedom to turn those hardships into strengths and then create a better life for yourself. You only have so much power and so much so much maturity when you're younger to be able to do that. Whatever hardship came your way, you just have to deal with it. Now you actually have like the brain power and the brain cells and the skills and like the communication to be able to solve your problems when you want to and create a better environment for yourself to live in, whatever environment you want, you know. I don't think I've ever regretted saying like, oh, like, you know, I can't wait to grow up. I always knew I wanted to like be more in like an independent person. And now that I got like a little gist of that in college, like I can't wait to go back and like spend time with the people that like I chose for them to be in my life. You know, like I consciously made an effort to be friends with good people, and I learned who was a good person, who wasn't a good person, who was good for my life, who wasn't good for my life. And I look back and I feel honestly nostalgic about that too, because I'd be walking into situations with people that I didn't know like who they actually were. And I just think like right now I just think like damn, like she was stupid. And like she like needed to go through that. I think we should all have the maturity to be able to look back no matter how the situation ended and just like giggle. Just be like, what the hell? Like what was going on? Like I was like, you know, like I talk to my friends sometimes and we talk about first semester all the time and we're just like what the actual hell was it? There was something new every day and somehow we made it out like unscathed. Like we still kind of like stuck by each other and like just walked through it and like didn't really give a shit about what's going on. And I think that's what I feel grateful for is that those experiences kind of gave me the ability to be, I have the privilege to laugh about it. I think. I know some people don't, but I think we should all work towards having the ability to laugh about what we've been through in the past. I think that's a really, I think that's a really beautiful thing. Um, but yeah, so thank you to Urgent to telling me to speak about this because I low-key hit a wall and I didn't know what to talk about. He gave me that idea and then I like snowballed into a bunch of other ideas. So I took a little break because my online classes started and they were low-key a lot. So I'm back on the schedule. I've been making a lot more videos. I kind of like this little quiet setting with this one light and that light off because that light is like horrible backlighting. It's disgusting. But yeah, and I'm so glad to have my mic back because the lav mics were disastrous. And this one you can like actually hear me when I like talk. So I hope you like this. I hope it was cute. um, and I will be back soon with another one.